Chesler and
I'm Orna Sheena.
we're so happy to greet you and wish you a happy Hanukkah. We're about to prepare potato pancakes or latkes or
levivot.
for Hanukkah. Why do we eat potato pancakes on Hanukkah? Because they're made with oil, shemen. Why? Because on Hanukkah we celebrate oil, we celebrate light, we eat a lot of fried foods because fried foods require oil. So we're going to show you all the things you need for making latkes. This is a very simplified recipe. You can find it on the TBT website along with this video that you're watching right now. Our recipe, it goes back many, many decades. It's a very basic latke recipe. And in it, we have minimally 4 large potatoes. In this colander, we have about 10 potatoes from a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes, peeled and ready to be shredded into teeny pieces. We have 4 eggs because we're doubling our recipe. We have salt. We have flour in here in our canister, and oil for frying. And in here, we're ready to chop up onion. Okay, because those are the basic ingredients: potato, onion, egg, salt, flour, and oil. Of course, you need frying pan. We have an electric frying pan. We have peelers for our potatoes, a good sharp knife, some spatulas, plastic spatulas, and we're ready to begin. First step is chopping up 2 large onions because we're doubling our recipe. So here we go. We're about to turn on our food processor on high. Be prepared to cry. Here we go. Nice and finely chopped up. The next thing we're going to do is put in little chunks of potatoes.
After we peel them.
You peel the potatoes. And we're going to use this part of the food processor, which is an automatic shredder. In the olden days, people used a hand grater, and it took hours and hours of hand grating. Peeling potatoes and hand grating by hand takes a very long time. This takes a few minutes. One of the important things I want to say to you is once you're finished grating all these potatoes, the color of the potato is going to go from a white to a kind of a pink to a kind of a gray and a brown. In order to get them white again, to give your latkes a really good golden color, you want to rinse them in the colander after you've shredded them, and it returns the potato to that original white color. But first we have to shred them. First thing before that though is we're going to remove all the onion from the food processor. Okay. Now, before I dump it into here, we have our 4 eggs. I'm going to beat those up by hand. I'm going to take a fork and beat them up by hand. Get this ready.
Just blending it all. We'll add the onions to it. Very good. You want to give me this?
Yep, I'll pour it in when those are beat up nice and good. Okay, that's good. Okay, and we're going to dump in our onion from the food processor. Get it all out of there. Okay. And then Orna's going to get the salt and the flour. And that's basically it. And then we'll add the potato. And that's the entire batter that you have to make. One second. You need a couple of teaspoons. Okay. What size do you need? One teaspoon. So I need to go.
3 teaspoons because we're doing a double portion.
Right, we're doubling our batter. Okay. Rinse this out.
1, 2, and 3. Did the onion, you need 2 teaspoons of flour. So we'll add that as well. If I can open this thing with my hand. potatoes. And the next step is going to put the potatoes and grind them in a machine.
So we're going to start to chop up. You want to chop the potatoes into smaller, they start pretty big, so I'm going to chop them into chunks. And don't chop your fingers. Pulling it all in the colander, okay? We're gonna rinse the potato, and then, you see the color? It's kind of brown pink, not the nicest color. We can rinse it off, get all the liquid out, because the potato generates a tremendous amount of liquid that you don't want in your latkes. You do not want soggy latkes, God forbid. So we're gonna get the liquid out right now, all right? And then we're almost ready to mix it all together with the egg and the salt and the flour and pepper. We add a little pepper. So we're gonna rinse it off, okay? And it's gonna turn color before your eyes. It's gonna go from like a pink, fleshy color to its original white as we rinse it. And we're gonna squeeze down and get rid of all this excess liquid. Okay, it's important that you do it in a colander where all the liquid comes down, but not the potato. This contraption is called a colander. All right, and now I'm gonna squeeze, after I've rinsed all the potato off, I'm gonna squeeze out all the excess liquid. Okay, that's very important. You don't want all that water going into your latkes. Come out, push down, get rid of all that excess liquid, because there's a lot of it. And then we're going to put the potato in the bowl and mix it with the egg, flour, and salt, and pepper. Orna had a great idea to add some pepper for a little flavor, which is a good thing. All right, all the liquid's out. We'll dump this in the bowl now. You ready? Beautiful. Okay. And you see now the potato is white. It's not pink or gray or brown. It's white. And when you mix it with the onion, it's going to make it nice and golden.
Now he's mixing it all. I'll just put a touch of pepper. That's it.
All right, now we gotta get our frying pan ready. And the processor. Set this out of the way. is get your frying pan ready. If you don't have an electric frying pan, you can use a conventional frying pan on your stove. You're going to plug this in and get it all warmed up and fill it with oil. Alright, that's the next step. Alright, now, wonderful, it's on, working, good. We're going to turn it up to, you want it to generate a lot of heat. My electric frying pan is on 350. If you don't have an electric frying pan, you're going to use a conventional frying pan on the stove top. You put the heat on high, and then you're going to fill it with a good amount of oil. This is not measured out by the cup or the spoonful. It's more by eye, so you have enough to dump the batter in, and the oil has to get nice and hot. Okay? So I filled this up pretty high with oil. I'm going to make sure it's evenly distributed. I don't know if this frying pan is probably really old and not quite sitting level. So what I might do, like when you get a wobbly table, sometimes you have to put something there so it doesn't wobble. Like when you go to a restaurant and you get a wobbly table. So we'll put this under here so it's even. The oil is evenly distributed. And how do you know when the oil is hot enough? You can take a teeny piece of batter, put it in the oil, and if it starts to sizzle, you know your oil is ready for the pancake batter. All right, so that's our next step. We've got great spatulas. It's really good to have really good spatulas. If you want to rinse that off because it's got egg on it, that's great. And we're almost ready. Got a good spoon here. Orna likes to make them by hand and prepare the batter in her hands. I don't particularly want to get my hands all messy like that, so I'm going to use a spoon. And I'm going to put the batter, a little bit at a time, like about that much, 4 of them, into the frying pan, and they should start sizzling any moment. Oh, I hear the sizzle already.
At this time of year in days of yore, Maccabees the temple did restore. And today our people as we dream.
And then while these are cooking, you want to get a tray ready to put these on when they're finished. You put it on a conventional cookie sheet and put lots of paper towels down because there's a tremendous amount of oil and the paper towel will absorb all the additional extra oil. So if you have one of those, there's some cookie sheets also up on top of the oven. And you can put paper towel down and you can put the latkes when they're finished cooking and you can make layers of them on the cookie sheet. And we're going to move a couple things so you can see this. Over here.
How lucky we are that we have lights so that we can see. Although the day is done.
Right.
What a miracle that a spark lifts these candles out of the dark. Every evening, one by one.
Fantastic. So how do you know when they're ready to flip? How do you know when a latke's ready to be turned over? Great question. So you watch, right now the batter is all kind of the same color. It's all kind of white. When the edges get browned, you'll see them getting darker, that they're cooking around the edges, and that's when you're going to flip them over to cook on the other side. So, move that so you can see.
At the end of the day, our whole family will say.
And if you make a whole 5-pound bag, how many latkes do you think it is that's in that bowl?
That's a guessing game.
It's a guessing game. How many latkes do you think we're going to make of 5 pounds of potatoes?
25. These are big latkes.
Oh, you like making them small?
I'm making them
You make them
smaller,
tiny?
but, that's good. Yeah, that's a meal.
So it goes quicker, right?
It's a meal.
And then the other thing that you want to make sure you have when you make your latkes, you can have individual portions of applesauce. You can also use sour cream, but this is a flake frying pan, so I'm not doing sour cream right now, even though the latkes are part There's nothing in them that is fleshy, that's meat-based. I'm using a meat frying pan, so we're just adding applesauce with our latkes for now. Pretty soon they'll be ready to flip. The first batch always takes the longest because the frying pan is heating up and it's not quite ready. It's ready. They're cooking nicely.
On this festival of the lights.
Beautiful. Now it's a golden brown. Some of the pieces of potato are kind of flying out. You see how it's nicely browned there? And we'll try another one. You want to spread them out enough so they don't get connected to each other, that they have enough room to be their own little latke, right? But didn't do such a good job on flipping. That's okay. Alright, we'll do this one. And Norm, if you want to do some. And you don't want to get splattered by the oil. The oil's very hot, and when it splatters, you get burned. So be careful. If you're a child, make sure you're supervised by an adult. Alright. So these are your traditional latkes for Hanukkah. Potato pancakes with oat. You can also put other things on them in addition to sour cream or applesauce. You could have syrup if you went that direction. Some people like syrup. Other kinds of jellies.
Powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar.
My kids love powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar. I didn't even think of that.
My kids love it.
That sounds terrific. It's because your kids grew up here, right? Now, your kids grew up in Israel. They don't eat jelly donuts on Hanukkah?
So they eat zucchini, which
Sorry.
is not just the typical donut, but it's a real zucchini. Ball of dough with strawberries and raspberry jam inside.
And powdered sugar over the top, right?
Powdered sugar over the top, which is absolutely
No calories.
One is your meal for the entire day. But we also, by the way, add to the latkes, we add carrots at times, not just grapes and carrots.
Oh, it's good color.
Or sometimes also we do it with zucchini as well.
Oh, zucchini is also yummy.
just
See, this is much healthier. Orna eats much healthier latkes in her
No,
house.
but this is a tradition. The whole point is to eat things with oil, so.
Right. So how do you know when they're finished? Because the brown was really in the first flip. You can take a little peek. You want them to be fully cooked on the inside. I don't like them to be undercooked on the inside, so you want to make sure that they've had their time in the frying pan to cook fully. So how do you know? You can lift it up a little bit and take a little peek and see what it looks like on its underside. Is it done? If it's falling apart, two things might have happened. You might need more egg in the batter in the first place, or it's not fully fried. You want to make sure it's all kind of together. It's okay if there's little shreds of potato on the side. Those get eaten too, if you save them. So what do you think? Should take it out?
2 minutes.
2 more minutes?
I like it first.
Yeah, you like it burnt and crispy? So we're gonna give it another moment to cook in the frying pan, and then we'll start another round. You can do 4 or 5 in this size frying pan, 4 or 5 latkes at a time. All right, now we're gonna remove them from the pan, and you have your finished product here on your tray. And they look quite tasty. It's unfortunate that they are really tasty. All right, let that one cook for 1 more moment. And you can use your spatula to kind of press all the potato together. And 1 more. And then we're going to start again. All right, there's our finished product. And for the next round, you always add a little bit more oil. Whoops. Let me take that out. start again. There's the sizzle I was looking for before. You're right, they're kind of big. You like them small?
So much smaller and less meaty, but it's okay.
Well, this goes through, 5 pounds of batter, or 5 pounds of potatoes a lot quicker. You thought we were going to be here for months, for years and years. This is so many latkes. So if you make them this size, it's probably not even 15 latkes. I would imagine it's probably like, I don't know.
No, it will be.
It'll be about 15 latkes. Probably like four rounds of these.
Yeah, it will be more.
So I did not time how long it is in the cooking process at this temperature on the electric frying pan. Probably, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes aside, I have no idea. It's just really by sight. You're gauging when it's brown around the edges to flip it the first time, and when it looks like it's fully cooked to take it off the frying pan. Okay. Got your spatula ready. You gotta go do. Get out of the way. No, I think we're good.
Hope you enjoyed this demonstration. Have a happy Latke Day.
Happy Latkes Day and Happy Hanukkah from us at Temple Beth Torah. Happy Hanukkah.
Grab that oil from the bit, pour that oil from the tin. Hanukkah is here.